I'm alive, but I have this card.
Oh.
And yeah, don't read it. So it's a punch card. Today I erased 2 names on the punch cards, and you see how many more to go on this batch.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fresh from the bomb shelter, and we're getting prepared for a massive Hezbollah assault tonight. That's the breaking news. Hezbollah is about to launch a counter operation against Israel and the IDF, as we just made a ground invasion into Lebanon, the troops in the north, and we are preparing. As the most recent news I just got is an update that I'm sending to all my loved ones. In recent hours, the IDF has detected expanded preparations by Hezbollah terrorist organization to launch rocket barrages towards the state of Israel in the coming hours. The IDF is operating in order to thwart Hezbollah's activities. The aerial defense array and IDF soldiers deployed along the border are alert and prepared, both in defense and offense. The public is requested to follow the Home Front Command's defensive guidelines, and we're being prepared in Hebrew that it is going to be a long night. So that's what we're dealing with here in Israel. I'm Tal the Traveling Clad, your favorite Zionizer, white colonizer, sweet Zionist prince, whatever you want to call me. You can get the merch down below in the description at thetravelingclad.com so you can be a Zionizer yourself. And here is your recent, most up-to-date Iran war update. Breaking: Iran has just been embarrassed again on the world stage with regime security chief Ali Larijani being killed in an overnight strike. Let's take a look at this clip from Fox News.
According to Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, top Iranian official Ali Larijani is dead. He was killed in a strike overnight, according to
Looks like
Israel's
a nice guy,
defense
actually.
minister. This was probably the most significant strike you could describe it in the past week and a half, as the Israelis and the Americans are going after the structure of Iran's regime. Larijani was largely considered the de facto leader in the...
I like that clip, by the way, that this is the most significant strike in a week and a half, considering they killed all the significant people, so they're just running out of significant people to fuck up now, which is, I like that. That's great.
Regime. Larijani was largely considered the de facto leader in the aftermath of the killing of Iran's former supreme leader, and uncertain questions about Mustafa Khamenei, the man who was elected to be the next supreme leader. Larijani was serving as the secretary to Iran's Supreme National Security Council. I can also report overnight the Israelis, in a separate strike, killed the top commander of Iran's Basij forces. This is a wing of the IRGC. His name is Ghulam Reza Soleimani, and he was responsible for commanding the crackdown on protesters earlier this year across Iran. An official tells me this morning that over a dozen Basij officials were with him when that strike took place, taking out this top commander. It comes as the Israelis have launched a series of airstrikes alongside their American counterparts across Iran over the past 24 hours. You can see some of these strikes on Sunday, this new video released by the IDF. They are expected to intensify and increase in the hours and days ahead.
So there's your, that's the most recent update that just broke out a couple hours past. Ali Larijani. Why did these names start sounding a little Italian from the IRGC officials? There's also the other guy, the media spokesperson. Sounds very Italian. I forget his name. Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council and regime's effective leader has been eliminated. Get fucked, little bitch. Get fucked. You do kind of look nice, though. I gotta see. He looks like a nice guy. After the elimination of Khamenei, he functioned as the leader of the Iranian regime and led the combat against the state of Israel and countries in the region. He didn't do a very good job. He also served as a secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, acted as regime effective leader, one of the most veteran and senior figures within the Iranian leadership, advanced violent enforcement measures and repression operations, and personally oversaw the massacre that was carried out against the over 100,000 protesters who were massacred in the last 2 months. So you can get fucked, you little fucking bitch. Get fucked, you little piece of garbage. Thank you. And for any of you guys who have a problem with my cursing, sorry. I love you. I appreciate it. Stop emailing me. I won't stop cursing. I don't care if you're Christian and that goes against your worldview. I am sorry. I don't create Christian content for Christians. I love my Christian viewers. I appreciate you. I'm not going to stop cursing. That's the brand. It's who I am. That's what I like to do. I didn't travel around the world for 10 years to then start becoming a political commentator so that I could repress my speech. I'm not going to repress my speech. It's not part of my worldview. It's not part of my religious worldview. I will keep cursing. I'm sorry about that. Just keeping that in mind. It doesn't go against the violations of YouTube, so I'm going to keep doing it and express my right to keep cursing. And if you have a problem with it, truly, there's many other great channels who don't curse, are not as inflammatory as me. I recommend my friend Official Sahar TV. He's great. He's a Mizrahi Jew just like me. I recommend Joseph Cohen, the Israel Advocacy Movement. Who else? Other Barack. They don't curse, definitely not as wildly as me. Go check them out, get their perspective. And if you want to hear my perspective, come back here. You're welcome anytime. Wild footage, IDF soldiers in Tel Aviv cheer as an Iranian missile is intercepted overhead. That's it's the most Israeli fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. I wish I could report to you guys that this is AI, because all these motherfuckers need to be in bomb shelters, but they don't, because everyone in this country acts like a fucking... I'm going to stop myself. Sorry. I love my country and I love my people, but sometimes they're out of line. They need to be in bomb shelters in these situations. But I wish I could say this is AI, but it's not. It's fucking not AI. That's so ridiculous. We are so fucking ridiculous that we treat ballistic missiles like a fucking soccer match. It's so fucking ridiculous. Oh my God. We're so stupid. What is this? Bunch of monkeys. And I actually can verify that that is true, because I was there when that rocket attack happened. I saw the live footage of it happen, and I felt that explosion in the air. Personally, I can confirm that that is a real video. I felt it myself. Here's from 2C TV. Pro-Palestine supporter went to the Iranian neighborhood in Finchley, London, started shouting "Free Palestine."
Genocide supporter, free Palestine. Come. بکن تکونه مادرت مادرت I have a big account. Say again. Say again. Say again.
Guys.
Fuck off.
Guys.
Fuck off.
We're going to do something special right now.
Genocide supporter.
Azizam.
Free Palestine.
Azizam.
Only one Lulu says free Palestine. Here they come out. Then look at them.
Oh, I love this neighborhood.
Look at them.
I love this neighborhood.
Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. They support genocide.
I love this neighborhood.
Genocide supporters. Free Palestine.
Yeah, now apparently the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi is somehow a genocide supporter, because his people were massacred. 100,000 of them were actually genocided, and he just wants to overthrow the regime, genociding his people, and now he's a genocider now. Him. I understand that it wasn't perfect with his father was in power. Personally, his father's government saved my grandma, so I have a hard time saying anything bad. I understand it wasn't perfect, but we're going to do something very special right now, folks. These people, first of all, if anybody has connections to this neighborhood in London, next time I'm in London, I got to visit this neighborhood. I want to hug everyone. I was actually doing research now trying to find the cafe or the butcher shop, and I couldn't find it. Buffalo Butchers. They don't have a Google listing. I was going to say, let's go mass spam them with positive reviews. But yeah, they don't have a listing. So anyways, I appreciate them, and I definitely want to go visit that neighborhood when I come to London next time, because it sounds like a fucking hoot. I fucking love Persian people. I really am falling in love with these human beings. I love them so much. They're so funny and so charismatic and so much fun to be around, and I love them. And I know I have a lot of Iranian viewers and fans now from all over the world, and especially a lot in the UK. So I love you guys very much, and I stand with you 100%. Justin, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth just posted the epic video of one of our American heroes.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch. I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
I'm actually just getting another...
Hey, I don't know who need to...
Getting another update right now. Israel is expected to close airspace completely following a massive salvo of missiles today. And by the way, we're already after like 5 silos of missiles that have come in. I've been in the bomb shelter 5 or 6 times today since 3 a.m. So it's going to be a fun fucking night, as I told you guys in the beginning. We're going to have a lot of boom, boom, booms. A lot of boom, boom Tel Aviv tonight. Let's take a look at this next clip. Peter Doocy. Peter Doocy. I'm so stupid. President Trump, what are your advisors telling you?
What are your advisors telling you about the Ayatollah's son, the new supreme leader? What are they telling you about
Well, it's
him?
not only them, it's you people. I mean, a lot of people are saying that he's badly disfigured. They're saying that he lost his leg, one leg, and he's been hurt very badly. Other people are saying he's dead. Nobody's saying he's 100% healthy, and he hasn't spoken because the Ayatollah would sit and he'd spew hate from a form of a throne, not as nice as a throne. I like the English throne much better, but it was a fancy chair. But he'd spew hate from his chair. But you'd see him a lot, right? This one we haven't seen at all. So that could be for a lot of different reasons. We don't know, Peter, if he's dead or not.
Now that you've announced,
I will say this: nobody's seen him, which is unusual.
It is very unusual. It could be because he's gay. Maybe he went back into the closet. Maybe he's hiding. Maybe he's hiding in the closet. Mojtaba, come out, Azizam. We have a gourmet sabzi. Mojtaba, come, Mojtaba. Junam, come on up, Mojtaba. Now, President Trump, somebody said, there's not that many Iranian protesters.
Over the last 3 weeks, they put out a memo 2 days ago saying, if you protest, we will shoot you and kill you in the streets. And somebody said, there's not that many protests. Well, first of all, there are bombs going off all over the place. But even if there weren't, who's going to do that? Who's going to do it? They don't have any guns, and the other ones have latest in line machine gun, right? And every form of gun you can have. They shoot them right through the middle of the head. They're violent people. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. Over the last 3 weeks, they put out a memo 2 days ago saying, if you protest, we...
This is a factor. I said this, that Armin Avabi spoke about this. I said this in yesterday's update. The Iranian people are waiting for the sign to start going out on the street and protesting. But nobody's giving it to them right now because it's still actively a war zone. They need to basically clear the air of what's going on so that the Iranian people could actually go back in the streets. Here's President Trump eviscerating American allies, refusing to help the U.S. secure the Strait of Hormuz.
And I've done a great job. And when we want to know, do you have any minesweepers? Well, would rather not get involved, sir. I said, for 40 years we're protecting you, and you don't want to get involved in something that is very minor. Very few shots going to be taken because they don't have many shots left. But they said, would rather not get involved. I just want the fake news media and everybody else to remember that was said, because I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries, because I know that we'll protect them, and if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time, just like I knew about the Strait, that it would be a weapon. Done a great job. And
I agree with this assessment that these allies need to step up. What we've heard is that they're too afraid to step up right now because they're waiting for the worst of the war to be over. But that's not really an excuse. Like, every country that's not actively getting involved in taking out this threat in the Strait of Hormuz is being foolish, because you all use it. You all use it. It shouldn't be the U.S.'s job to just take care of this on its own. You want to solve this diplomatically with people who don't know what diplomacy is. The IRGC is a terrorist organization. You're negotiating with terrorists. This is the most important part of the Shah's last statement.
بی‌صبرانه در انتظار روسی هستم که در نخستین شهر آزاد شده ایران در کنار شما بایستم و با هم پیروزی نهایی را رقم بزنیم. پاینده ایران.
So the idea is that he will stand beside them in the first liberated city. He does not intend to wait for all of Iran to be free. He wants to get involved on the ground from the second there's the first available option to do so. That's important. That's important. Because this is the first time we're actually seeing that there's an action plan in place. The path needs to be cleared, and the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi will be on the ground ready to lead the revolution. InfoWars host fails to stop Tommy Robinson from calling Tucker Carlson a huge liar.
I'm just telling you how it is. I've watched him. Tucker Carlson come into my country.
In your opinion, yeah, that's how you...
It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion. It's a fact.
Tommy Robinson from the UK, who I had in studio here about 2 weeks ago, he's making the rounds, and he even went on InfoWars. So he went on Alex Jones's channel and told them something they didn't want to hear.
that they're not lying to you.
Yeah.
Your own commentators are lying to you. Tucker Carlson's lying to you. I'm just telling you how it is. I've watched him. Tucker Carlson come into my country.
In your opinion, yeah, that's how you.
It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. Tucker Carlson is lying. Tucker Carlson come into my country and said, "There's no problems here." What do you mean there's no problems here? A whole generation of our daughters are being raped. What do you mean there's no problem? Islam's all right because my taxi driver was nice. Yeah, well done, Tucker. That's right, innit? Qatar's great. Yeah, it's great. Great. They're funding every terrorist organisation in the world.
Qatar is also a slave state, right? There's about, I think, they have more imported, in essence, lifetime slaves that they take their passports from, and they basically work till they die, so that those people can make a whole bunch of money. But all of that aside, the influencer side of this has to level up. I promise you, I am going to do my part. I hope you enjoyed the program. Tomorrow we'll try to do something a little less about genitals, more about the news.
I fucking love Dave Rubin, bro. Hell yeah, Dave Rubin. I really do think it's a part of all of us to get involved too in this fucking fight. We should all be calling Tucker out. People are too afraid of the smoke, but you know what? The Jews of the world, we already get so much smoke. We should be leading the charge. The Ben Shapiros, the Dave Rubins, the Tal Orens, we should be jumping in there, and all our last names ends with N. I wonder why. We're all Jews. We're all dirty Jews. We all need to be leading this fight. And speaking of Mr. Benjamin Shapiro, let's take a look. Oh.
Spying on Tucker Carlson. You'll never believe the latest. Keep watching and buy some ALP to continue to fund the crusade to stop the Khazarian members of Chabad from launching World War III. That's all the news that's fit to print over the weekend in Podcastistan, the fully retarded homeland and headquarters of the Grievance Party. Preppy Smollett, Tucker Carlson, is now claiming he has been secretly victimized by the CIA. Donald Trump's CIA. We're going to cut through the victimhood shtick in order to ask the only questions that matter. Is this a real scandal, a preemptive spin job, or just another episode of Oppression Olympics performance art? Welcome to The Ben Shapiro Show. Okay, here was Tucker over the weekend making his extremely dubious claim.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power.
Before we get into the speculation, let's start with the obvious. We have no confirmation of this story from literally anyone. The CIA has not confirmed it. The DOJ has not confirmed it. The NSA has not confirmed it. In fact, the only source for this information is Tucker Carlson. And Tucker has a rich history of making such accusations absent supporting evidence. Back in 2021, he made the same accusation about the National Security Agency.
Yesterday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government who reached out to warn us that the NSA, the National Security Agency, is monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take this show off the air.
The NSA at the time denied the accusation, saying, quote, "This allegation is untrue. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to try to take his program off the air." Tucker's story never led anywhere, it should be noted. It's quite possible Tucker's texts or communications were caught up in surveillance that the NSA or CIA were doing of foreign agents. If Tucker was just negotiating to have on a foreign figure and aides to that figure were being surveilled, his emails or texts might crop up. That still would not mean that Tucker Carlson was being targeted. Let's also be clear on Tucker Carlson's rights. Tucker has the right to talk to people abroad, of course. The Foreign Agents Registration Act, that is the act Tucker pretends he doesn't know about, requires people to register as a foreign agent if they act at the, quote, order, request, or under the direction or control of a foreign principal. So, Tucker talking with the Iranian government or kissing their asses or even spreading their propaganda at his own behest would fall under the protection of the First Amendment. In other words, it is highly unlikely that Tucker Carlson is about to be hit with a FARA prosecution. I believe him when he says he's not being paid by outside sources. I think that Tucker Carlson is being truly anti-American all on his own. Faux victimhood is the name of the game in the Grievance Party. Megyn Kelly, who has been claiming faux victimhood since her Signal failure to defend Erica Kirk against the evil charges of Candace Owens, played that game over the weekend too. Upset that she'd been called out by Mark Levin, she lashed out, claiming that Mark Levin had a micro penis, a truly dazzling feat of intellectual sophistication from a woman who continues to devolve into a 14-year-old mean girl in a 55-year-old woman's body. This prompted President Trump to sign into Chad to defend Mark Levin. Quote, Mark Levin, a truly great American patriot, is somewhat under siege by other people with far less intellect, capability, and love for our country. Mark is tough, strong, and brilliant, hence the nickname The Great One, conceived by our MAGA friend, the wonderful Sean Hannity, after years of dealing with Mark in legal, media, and other capacities. Mark would often do Sean's show, speaking as a lawyer, and Sean realized then, as did others, that he was special. Mark Levin was not looking to do television, radio, or anything else, but he was drafted by very smart people who understood that there are few like him. When you hear others unfairly attack Mark, remember they are jealous and angry human beings whose sway is much less than the public understands and will, now that they know where I stand, rapidly diminish. Other than for his wonderful wife and family, Mark Levin only cares and wants one thing: greatness and success for America. Those that speak ill of Mark will quickly fall by the wayside, as do people whose ideas, policies, and footings are not sound. They are not MAGA, I am, and MAGA includes not allowing Iran, a sick, demented, and violent terrorist regime, to have a nuclear weapon to blow up the United States of America, the Middle East, and ultimately the rest of the world. MAGA is about stopping them cold, and that is exactly what we are doing. So President Trump calling out some of the grifters. So, what is the upshot of this Tucker Carlson claim likely to be? Well, probably the story just dies out in a couple of days, and then everyone just forgets about it. And then Tucker will continue on to his next bizarro conspiracy theory, all while maintaining that his opponents work for the interests of foreign powers.
There are a bunch of people in the U.S. government who do not put the United States before the interests of Israel, period. And you saw that very clearly with Mike Huckabee. We interviewed him last week. And there's no sense at all that he represents the United States or has any interest in what happens to the United States.
Oh,
his
you
party
little
is in
sucker.
defending Israel. Now, Huckabee is not Jewish. Who knows what his religion is? Mike Huckabee's loyalty is to Israel over the United States.
This is Tucker's shtick. Everybody except for Tucker is actually working for a foreign power. Not Tucker, apparent frequent correspondent with and sexter with the Ayatollahs. So if I'm gaming out the possibilities, that is, in fact, the most likely possibility. Stupid conspiracy bullshit, rinse and repeat.
Absolutely. Stupid conspiracy bullshit wins each time. But I do think there's something to be said about maybe a lot of this is fake. Maybe the clout that we think that Tucker has is not true. Somebody made a clip last week about how every time he keeps peddling this bullshit, he actually loses influence with the people he's supposedly influencing. Here's our last clip from Steven Crowder.
Kids are saying, I feel betrayed.
Sure.
I don't know why we're fighting if we've never been attacked.
But that's based on a lie. We've never been attacked. That's not true. That's the point.
Right.
That's a youth problem. That's the point. I'm sorry, your opinion is not as valid if it's predicated on... I'm not saying you're an idiot. If you say, I don't know why we're doing it when Iran has never attacked us. Bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about. They've attacked us many times, and if they had the capabilities, they would attack us more often. They've attacked us wherever they can, when they had opportunity, and they were building up an arsenal so that they could build a nuke unfettered. It's not that they were going to have a nuke, it's that they were building up an arsenal so we couldn't stop them from getting a nuke. But anyone who says, I don't know why they've never attacked us, that's an ignorant person. They have many times. Now, if your opinion is, sure, they've attacked us over the last few decades and they've taken hostages and they've publicly executed people. There are embassies, of course, where people were tortured. But it's not enough for war. Fine. I may not agree with you, but to say unprovoked because they've never attacked us is wrong.
It's true. They have attacked the United States of America on multiple occasions. They will continue to, by the way, until they're completely subdued, because that's the only thing that radical Islamists understand. They only understand submission via power. Their whole idea of Islam is submission to a higher power. But they understand only power and submission. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye.